Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. This is episode 259 of the Music Mondays podcast. And like I said, I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. Hope we're well. Hope we're chilling. How we feeling on this fine Monday, my friends? One more episode until the even 260, which is pretty crazy. I'm definitely excited for that for sure. But let's get into some things, my friends. Let's get into some things. So, let's continue on. We got the homies, Drama Eyes in chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Zomsub, yep. I believe we got gifted like last week. Then now we got Kale in chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's fucking get it, baby. Welcome. So yeah, really good show today. We have some Music Mondays Awards stuff to go over. Those polls and voting is officially live right now. So that's kind of a big deal at the moment. So definitely go vote on the polls if you have not already. Those are currently live on Twitter and Instagram. And then of course we're gonna go over some weekly recap stuff. We're gonna talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. And then we're gonna dive into a little bit of the Music Mondays Awards details. And then we're gonna dive into some reactions and reviews. So definitely a fucking stacked show tonight, my friends, but let's get into it. So, let's see here. Weekly recap, Jazz. Let's kick it off. Per usual, Music Monday's basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock right now. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges. If you're interested in purchasing one of those are $20 flat, including shipping. United States only, of course, unless you want to sacrifice the shipping costs and get, completely destroyed by that, but I definitely don't recommend that. So United States shipping only per usual. Then of course, like I said, we still have some smalls, some mediums, and some larges available. So definitely contact us or send us a DM, send us an email if you'd like to purchase one of those as well. So, let's see here. Heading into Tuesday per usual. Submissions open for the following week's podcast every single Tuesday, so make sure you follow us on social media to stay up to date. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that good jazz. So again, if you'd like to submit for episode 260 next week, submissions will be live tomorrow, January 13th, 2026. Then, of course, following a live show every single Monday night, we do have early access Patreon content that does go live over there on Patreon. So if you want to kind of record the show, download the show, or anything like that in full high quality, definitely go check that out over there on Patreon every single Tuesday. And then, that was Tuesday. So heading into Wednesday, per usual, we always kick off Wednesday with SoundCloud Sunday submissions. So again, if you'd like to be a part of our weekly SoundCloud playlist that gets released every single Sunday, definitely follow us on social media, stay up to date with all that good jazz. And again, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. Following Wednesday, heading into Deeper Wednesday, we do a little bit of audio podcast promo. Per usual, because again, the audio version of the Music Mondays podcast does drop every single Thursday. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that every single Wednesday. Usually a stack Wednesday per usual. Heading into Thursday, episode 258 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Again, as well as audio platforms. That's Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. That is available right now everywhere and wherever you listen to podcasts. And huge shout out to everybody that did submit and tune in episode 258. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Thank you. Heading deeper into Thursday, we did have a segment where we talked about the early 2026 roadmap for Music Mondays. So again, if you missed that segment during last week's episode 258, definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. That is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And again, we do upload every single Thursday, every single Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and tell them some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. So that was Thursday. Heading into Friday, this past Friday, voting officially opened for the 2025 Music Mondays Awards. So again, 10 categories are available right now on Twitter and for the first time on Instagram. So definitely go check that out and go vote for all your favorites over there and go check out some artists you might not have heard of, my friends. So again, voting did go live for the 2025 Music Mondays Awards, which was very, very exciting. Awesome. Let's see here. So that was Friday. Heading into Saturday, episode 258 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, if you prefer to go watch and listen to the show over there on YouTube, that does drop every single Saturday. So again, make sure you subscribe and keep up to date with all the latest Music Mondays YouTube uploads. And once again, huge shout out to everybody that did submit episode 258 and tuned in. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much, much love. That was Saturday heading into Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday volume 221 is available right now on the Music Monday SoundCloud. That was curated by me, and the cover art was done by the homie 60, so definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit to SoundCloud Sunday volume 221. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you did get placed on SoundCloud Sunday, make sure you go share the playlist with all your homies, with all your friends, with your mutuals or anything like that. If you have anybody that's like, yo, I need new music, or the underground isn't dropping or anything like that, definitely go send them to SoundCloud Sunday, man, because we have 220 volumes of the freshest underground sounds over there on the Music Monday SoundCloud. So definitely go check that out. And then again, submissions do open every single Wednesday for SoundCloud Sunday. Make sure you follow us on socials and stay up to date with all that good jazz. That was Sunday. Heading into Monday, that is today. Well, let's fucking get it. So that was your weekly recap. That's pretty much everything you missed over the last week or so at Music Mondays. Again, a busy, busy week. The major thing being the Music Mondays Awards for 2025, so let's fucking go. We love that. So, let's get into it. We got Dry My Eyes coming through with the ad time and the gas and the posture check and the hydrate. We got all those right now. All right, we're slamming an ad. We're slamming a fucking ad right now. Boom. Slam the ad. Alright, we slam the ad. What else? Posture check. Yeah, we definitely gotta check that posture for sure. And hydrate. Definitely hydrate. We'll hydrate with the caffeine for sure. No way, I don't got the double man bun. Let's fucking go. Alright. So. We did weekly recap stuff. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. So, big things are as follows, man. So, the 2025 Music Mondays Awards have commenced. Again, voting is live right now. So, again, if you haven't voted on any of those polls, definitely go check that out. Voting will be available for the next 5 days. They do close on about Friday, like around like 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, again, you have plenty of time and about 5 or so days to get your votes in. So that's kind of a big deal as well. And then, of course, the Music Mondays 2025 Awards will be taking place next Monday. So that'll be very, very exciting. Again, so obviously we won't be taking submissions for next week's show. Well, we will be taking submissions tomorrow, but we won't be doing submissions again until the 26th, because the 19th will be the 2025 Music Mondays Awards. So obviously we're going to hand out the awards and congratulate everybody per usual on the 19th. So, that's what's pretty much huge. And then once the Music Mondays Awards stuff kind of fizzles out, and we make sure that everybody receives their award and whatnot, then we're going to dive into a little bit of some graphic refreshes when it comes down to all of our social media graphics, all of our stream graphics, a new background, all that good jazz will be going down too, especially for the new year. So I want to get that settled before February or so, and then kind of launch all the new graphics when we kind of head into the new month. So that'll be pretty fucking exciting for sure, 100%. And then outside of that, a lot of your monthly content will be returning. So when it comes down to video interviews, your monthly playlist over there on SoundCloud, we're gonna be dealing with a Spotify playlist pretty soon, and there's a few things that we're kind of working on in the background. But again, a lot of your monthly content will be staying the same, as well as a lot of the older stuff will be returning as well. So that'll be fun. And then outside of that, again, like I said, your weekly content will be staying the same as well. Nothing's changing here at the Music Mondays podcast. Website's staying the same. Of course, we're going to do a graphic reset over there on the website as well. Definitely do some maintenance over there. That'll be fun. And then outside of that, the podcast, articles every Friday, all that good jazz. So a lot of that stuff will be staying the same. So no worries there. That's pretty much everything major over the course of the next couple of weeks, like I said. So Music Mondays Awards first, graphic refresh. And then we're going to head kind of into the springish area. That's kind of like where we'll be at then. And then we're going to start talking about Cyberfest 3 and a whole lot of stuff for 2026. So I'm excited. But first things first, we have the Music Mondays Awards. So that's pretty much everything that's coming over the course of the next week or so. Well, let's fucking get it. I'm excited. Big next couple months for sure. Should I wear a suit to the awards? Absolutely. 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 I should put on some dress pants and like a really nice shirt and all that jazz. Look my hair back and shit. Hella fire? Absolutely fire. For sure. So, we did weekly recap stuff. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk recruiting. So, per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for all of our Music Monday staff roles. You're a writer, journalist, designer, curator. You want to do short form content. You want to do long form content. You want to do any type of content for Music Mondays. Definitely let us know. Send us a message. Send us a DM. Send us an email. We are open to all of our Music Mondays staff roles. And again, resume preferred, but definitely not required if you're kind of new to the underground independent media space. We definitely have no problem kind of getting your feet wet and teaching you everything that we know, right? So again, Music Mondays is recruiting. And again, we do have a 2025 role guide where I kind of break down all the Music Monday staff roles over there on our YouTube channel. That'll be getting updated for 2026 as well. So you see me kind of break down all the staff roles again for the new year. So that'll be exciting. But again, yeah, if you're more interested in any more details when it comes down to the Music Monday staff roles, we do have a 2025 role guide available right now on the Music Monday YouTube channel. So that's recruiting stuff. Dress fancy top half only. Yeah, right, exactly. Only top half. It's like you get up and I'm just like in my boxers. Suit and tie event. Definitely. Gotta have like a little dress code and shit. So that's that. What else do we have to talk about? We did recruiting. We gotta do SoundCloud exclusives. Again, Music Mondays is on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. So again, if you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Monday SoundCloud for completely free, and of course across all of our social media, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Again, we're only interested in unreleased material, so feel free to do whatever you want with the tracks afterwards. You want to go put them on DSPs, you want to go do a music video or anything like that, that's completely fine as well. But again, we're only interested in unreleased material. Same goes for YouTube as well. If you have a music video, AMV, lyric video, or even if you just want some audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of over 300 subscribers for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to get that uploaded for you. Again, we're only interested in unreleased material, so feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards, right? So, that's that. We did recap stuff. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next month or so. We did exclusives. We did recruiting. Okay, so that's a lot of the recap stuff. Let's dive into one quick segment for the 2025 Music Mondays Awards. So I did want to go over this here while we had an opportunity live on the show. So this will be fun. All right. So this is our fourth annual Music Mondays Awards. We've been doing this for 4 years, since 2022. And for those of you that don't know and you're kind of new here, we've pretty much done it in the same format every single year since we've done the award show, right? And I want to preface this by saying the award show is just for the community and to recognize artists for all the work that they put in throughout the year, and kind of give artists that otherwise would be overlooked some spotlight, right? So it's mainly just for fun. Obviously, the Music Mondays Awards are held in some high regard, right? But again, I just want the community to kind of like have fun, and we want to make sure that everybody kind of gets recognized equally, right? So again, like I said, same format every single year, 10 categories, 10 winners. But again, the only difference from this year as opposed to our previous years, right? We've always done voting on Twitter. But as the years went by and Instagram added a poll feature for regular posts and not just story posts, we kind of tested that out with Battle of the Beats in 2025 last year. So that went pretty well. So I figured, all right, let's take the voting to Instagram as well. So that way everybody kind of has a fair shot, because some people have pretty large communities on Twitter. Some people also have pretty large communities on Instagram, or vice versa, right? So I wanted to make sure that everybody kind of had a fair shot to get their communities involved when it comes down to a lot of these categories, right? So outside of that, like I was saying, 10 categories, 10 winners. 3 Music Monday staff nominations per category. So again, a lot of these categories were decided by the Music Monday staff team, and a lot of these nominees were decided from the staff team. So we like to narrow each category down to about 3 nominees, right? And then we let the community kind of take it from there. Because the Music Monday staff team, like, we could kind of just hand these awards out by, like, you know, our own picks, but we figure we'll at least take it halfway there, right? And we'll get together some nominations, and then we'll let everybody's community and the Music Mondays community kind of pick who they think deserves the award, right? So per usual, the 10 categories are Artist of the Year, Producer of the Year, Engineer of the Year, Designer of the Year, Music Video of the Year, Project of the Year, Most Improved Artist of the Year, Guest of the Year, and Reaction of the Year, and then along with your last award, Up and Coming Artist of the Year. So again, a lot of these categories have stayed the same for the last 4 years. I don't think we'll ever switch them up unless like we find another category that I think fits. But just to keep their tradition consistent, I think obviously these categories will be staying the same for the foreseeable future. All right. But when it comes down to Artist of the Year, your nominations are Most Dope Kimon, the homie Braden, and the Single Digits. So again, a lot of these nominations here are artists that either worked hard, somebody like Braden, or artists that kind of came onto the scene when it comes down to Music Mondays and just started fucking killing it, like Kimon. And then there's your underrated pick when it comes down to the Single Digits. So again, all three of these artists absolutely deserve that. When it comes down to Producer of the Year, you have the homie Kale, the homie Ghost, and the homie Flux. I mean, these three in the Producer of the Year category was pretty hard for me because I feel like producers shined a lot here at Music Mondays, and not just on the show, but I think on the Music Mondays platform in general, right? You got Battle of the Beats, you got some of the interviews that we've done, you've got some of the collaborations and some of the SoundCloud exclusives that we've done, right? So I feel like producers fucking killed it in 2025, so this was a really hard one to narrow down. But again, all three of these prods definitely deserve this award 100%, for sure. So if you haven't locked in your votes in any of these, definitely go lock them in. 2025 Engineer of the Year nominations, the homie Dry My Eyes, King Mark, and TDG. Now, again, I didn't want to just pick engineers that solely engineer, right? I started to think about things outside the box, right? And I started to think about, artists that engineer their own music and kind of progress their sound, right? And that was a big thing for 2025 as well. So again, that's why these picks kind of made the cut, right? Because King Mark, again, self-engineered. Dry My Eyes, self-engineered. TDG, self-engineered. So 3 artists that kind of took 2025 to really like work on their craft and sharpen their sword, right? So again, 3 great picks there. 2025 Designer of the Year nominations: Mild Goth Daddy, Konbini, and Michael Minago. Again, 3 artists that we've seen a lot of here on Music Mondays, but 3 artists that were fucking consistent as shit, right? Very, very consistent when it comes to their own projects, right? But also other artists' projects, for sure. So again, 3 very, very deserving artists here, 100%. 2025 Music Video of the Year nominations. So we have the homie Most Dope Kimon again with Beyonce Flow. I went way back for this one. I went way back because I had to go through like not only all of 2025, but I had to go through like 50 Music Mondays podcast episodes that we put out last year to really like figure out like what music videos did drop, around the community and, underrated ones and things like that. So these were like, again, really, really solid picks. Like I said, so we have the homie Most Dope Kimon with Beyonce Flow, the homie Royal Melko with Escape, and the homie Pez with 9 a.m., which is a pretty recent one, but again, I thought that one was fucking amazing too, so huge shout out to homie Pez. But again, 3 really, really great picks there. Next category, 2025 Project of the Year nominations: the homie Jordan with Not Now I'm Busy, King Mark with 10 Years Before Disaster, and Laverius and Ghost with Recession Proof. Again, a tough category because there was a lot of projects that I think you could have argued for this spot, but these were 3 picks here that I thought were worthy not only for the project themselves, but the way that they were promoted, the way that these artists kind of like really stuck with these releases and what they kind of meant to where their sound is at currently, right? So there was a lot of things to factor in here when it comes down to Project of the Year, but once again, 3 really, really great picks. Next category, Most Improved Artists of the Year: TDG, Laverius, and Jordan. Again, these are 3 artists that we personally watched fucking progress throughout 2025 in a crazy, crazy way. So kind of obvious picks here for me, but again, all deserving of that award for sure. So next category, 2025 Guest of the Year nominations. So when it comes down to our video interviews and our text interviews, those are all the guests that are usually considered, right? So text interviews, video interviews, and things like that. And again, kind of a hard one to narrow down because we had a lot of crazy text interviews this year and a lot of interviews in general for 2025, I should say. But we have the homie Sin, Ghost, and Aya for that category. 3 really, really great conversations. So huge shout out to all of them too. Next category is 2025 Reaction of the Year nominations. So we have the homie Jay Fade with Keep Cool from episode 211, Supersource with Fool for You from episode 219, and Laverius and Ghosts with New Tats, episode 220. And again, these weren't just reactions that they were like, oh my god, this is so fire, and I was like, holy shit, I was kind of like gassing the reaction. It was more so like the full-blown reaction of like, okay, like, why is this sick? And for those of you that frequent the show, you guys know how I react to stuff, right? So these are reactions that were like pretty detailed, but also had a lot of good points in them, right? So huge shout out to these three. Love that category. Last category, and probably one of the best categories, 2025 Upcoming Artist of the Year nominations. So we have the homie Through the Real, Fonzie, and RCD, Rough Cut Diamonds. So again, I want to think about artists that I thought in 2025 were not only going to continue their hot streak and just like really kind of keep pushing themselves, but also artists that were like pretty underrated throughout the year that I feel like they weren't like overlooked or like anything like that in like a bad way. I just felt like these three kind of needed more eyes on them. And then again, this is a category where I think you could kind of argue a lot of people for this one, right? So again, I kind of narrowed it down by like, all right, like what did we see on the show? What did we see in our playlist? What did we see in like the usual like community posts and things like that, right? So these were three artists that I think, again, you should check out all three regardless of who wins this one. For sure, one of my favorite categories, 100%. So that's that, my friends. The award show will take place next week on January 19th, 2026. We'll be handing out all these awards once we tally up all the votes from here and Instagram. Again, make sure you go vote in the 2025 Music Mondays Awards. The tweet is currently pinned in chat. Also, definitely go vote on Instagram and Twitter, depending on where you prefer, but it doesn't really matter. And again, like I said, the 2025 Music Mondays Awards will be live next week on January 19th, 2025. Let's fucking get it. Well done. Well done. There's also a 10-man cast prize for first place. Pog, very much Pog. Very much Pog. So, that's pretty much all the details for the 2025 Music Mondays Awards. Again, if you guys have any other questions or concerns or anything like that, this segment will be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, make sure you subscribe and stay up to date. We do upload every single Thursday, every single Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all the good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends, it's about that time. Let's switch over to our other tab, and you guys know the drill. So, let's get into it. Per usual, submissions are always in the same format every single week, and they'll always read. Artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on January 12th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/SonPlays, which is here and now. Again, the only thing that does change about this format is the date. So again, make sure you're double checking the date and make sure you're submitting for a show that hasn't happened yet. You guys would be surprised how many tweets we get for shows that have happened within the last 6 months or even within the last year or so. So again, double check the date for sure. Let's see here. Outside of that, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. Everything from obviously music, vocals, instrumentals, photography, videography, vlogs, music videos, instrumentals, like I said, acoustics, a lot of stuff. So again, if you're an underground creative and you feel like you deserve some spotlight here on the Music Mondays podcast, feel free to drop your links and portfolios below. Outside of that, we do have a 3-hour show limit just to keep the show a little bit more palatable to watch back. Again, one could argue that a 3-hour show is definitely still a bit long, but opposed to some of our earlier shows where we used to go up to like 5-6 hours, I think 3 hours is still pretty watchable for sure. And again, we are one of the only live shows here on Twitch every single Monday. So again, we like to keep the show a little bit more free flow and make sure that we at least kind of give you a top-notch quality show, right? And then, of course, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Like I always say, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Again, not only does that help spread our message and grow our platform, but again, you pay respect to every artist that does wait for their submission to be reacted to every single week here on the show. And then, of course, you gain access to a wonderful, wide range of underground creatives and artists and a whole bunch of really good people, man. So kind of a win-win, right? Outside of that, Patreon subscriber submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So if you're subscribed to Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, advanced, or premium, you gain access to a whole bunch of good features over there, including early access content and, of course, the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which again allows for you to have all of your submissions played first here on the show for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays podcast. So again, if you subscribe to the Patreon tonight, you would have all your submissions played first here on the show before everybody else's for the next 4 weeks or for the whole duration that you're pledged to the Patreon, right? So again, no pressure there. Obviously not required, but again, huge shout out to all of our current Music Mondays patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Outside of that, submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. Again, just keep that in mind. A good rule of thumb is that if the show is already live, submissions are definitely closed. Again, we are a live show, so we like to keep things free flow and make sure that we give everybody submissions a fair amount of time, right? And then, of course, we like to keep things organic. So again, if somebody submits late and cuts in front of somebody that's been waiting for like a few hours or something like that, there's their whole gray area right there. So again, if the show is live, again, submissions are definitely closed, but submissions do open every single Tuesday following a live show. So like I said earlier, if you'd like to submit for episode 260 tomorrow, submissions will be live January 13th, 2026. And then outside of that, we do have a 2025 How to Submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide on our YouTube channel, where I kind of dive into the lore of the Music Mondays podcast, why we take submissions on Twitter, and how the Music Mondays podcast came to be. So definitely go check that out if you're interested in any more details when it comes to Music Mondays, right? And we will be doing another one of those for 2026 as well, as along with another Music Mondays roll guide as well. So again, a lot of those will be updated for 2026 for sure. Outside of that, that's pretty much everything, my friends. We are good to go. So, let's get into it. We got TDG in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's fucking get it, baby. All right, so let's see how many Patreons we do have tonight, and then we're going to dive into the rest of the community submission. So, we're going to kick off the current show with TDG, and we're going to go with Lavaries, and then we got the homie Ghost. I think that's it for tonight. Yeah, so 3 Patreons back to back. All right, I'm down. Alrighty, let's get into it. We're kicking off with OBTDG, an artist that had a stellar 2025 and is already kicking off 2026 in a very, very strong way. A very talented hip-hop artist and producer came through with the track titled Back to the Future, featuring Scotty Moon. Brought by me, featuring Scotty Moon. See you later, Past. I love that. See you later, Past. Later. I'm down. Let's pop it open a new tab. 4 hours ago, brand spanking new, hot off the press. Love this cover. Real good, like, grainy feel to it. Brought by TDG, Back to the Future, featuring Scotty Moon. Let's go.
Undeniable, her dome unmindable. Tuck heroes, undesirable. Long it is, I'm too high to roll. Yeah. If we talking highs and lows, afraid to go. Life only knowing death helps. Treat yourself right, don't do no self-debt. Sometimes it's okay to be selfish, but don't forget it's not all about your damn forehead. Doors let mistakes said I get what I get. Cinch my neck, bounce a check, miss my step. Wish I'm led, believe it all ends. Depart, peace, I'ma transcend.
Scotty Moon, back to the future. Let me rap to the new kids, get the cash stack. I be adding up all the blue chips. Stalling on a verse, I be ruthless. Fallen angels falling, not sure how to do shit. Who is me in this world full of uncertainty? The angels taught me how to learn to see. Told me earn my key, nothing hurting me. Studio chilling, about to burn my weed. You want something else? Just tell me what you need. Back to the future, we be back to the basics. Fighting off demons, yeah, we learn how to face it. Now the flow cooking, how we taste it. Motherfuckers want the beef, okay, let me baste it. A1 scared when the flame comes, say some. It's okay, I don't blame them. My goal just to bait them, hate them, but I got some love since the day one. Motherfucker, just please stop, hate done. Capital Steve saying R.I.P. Mac 2 shit, I wish the tears you could see. Shit got me stagnant, stuck up in the traffic, wishing to go back, then I'm build up all the fragments.
Wow.
A chrome undeniable, her dome unmindable. Tuck heroes undesirable. Long it is, I'm too high to roll. Yeah. If we talking.
Oh shit. Quick drop off there. But again, this is another one of those tracks where I feel like TDG kind of proves that they sound really good with almost any artist that they get with, right? So I like this as a duo a lot again. You know, a lot of their features have just been fun, you know, and this is another one of those tracks that's just really, really fun to kick back and relax to. You know, definitely am more on the chill side of things when it comes down to TDG. And TDG can really do almost any style, right? So this one definitely has a little bit more of like a relaxed type of energy, I would say, for sure. Um, but let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, we'll talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of this track. So, instrumental, Prod TDG. Again, a very chill, kind of relaxed sort of vibe, leaning into the sort of lo-fi, boom bap, but more modern flavor, right? So again, production fantastic. Not really a shocker for me, right? But for anybody new here, TDG's production is always on point, 100%, especially when it comes down to the mix. But when it comes down to this one in particular, I feel like the mix brings a lot of that kind of relaxing sort of energy. Like everything hits just right. The sound selection's on point. The structure's great too. You know what I mean? So I think the mix is really solid. Nothing really too much to gripe about there. You know what I mean? Especially with the sound selection and the quality and levels for sure. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Hmm. You know, structure's up there for me, like I said. Drums are up there, definitely. Melody, definitely you could argue melody for sure, but I'm kind of torn between the drums and the structure though. I feel like you really could argue drums like heavily, especially with the sound selection. It brings a lot of like a good bounce, you know. Yeah, let's go drums on this one for sure, definitely. It's just the sound selection that really sells me on it, you know. So instrumental solid, definitely in drums. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. Again, a very interesting vocal mix with TDG here, but again, they're in kind of like their experimental era and not really in like a bad way or anything like that. You can just tell that TDG is really like, you know, branching out into new styles and new genres and trying new things, and you know, that's really what you have to do as an artist. So again, this is a mix that I appreciate, right? And again, it brings that like gritty sort of style that we know TDG for. So as far as like quality levels goes, nothing like super clashy or too overbearing. Vocals definitely sit nice. Versus transition nicely. Nothing I would like really kind of like, you know, tweak out about. You know what I mean? Same thing for Scotty as well. So vocal mix solid, definitely. No real gripes like thinking back on it, right? Vocal shining star on the other hand, 100% flow and cadence and delivery. 100%. Everybody walked all over this for sure. Flow and cadence and delivery. I mean, writing you could kind of argue, but the flow and cadence and delivery is just so fun. You know what I mean? It's just so fun. So, definitely flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Simple but very, very effective aesthetics. I love the graininess. I love the grittiness of it. It brings that early like underground feel to it for sure. Yeah, again for a single, simple but very effective. Very, very effective. Again, the blurry graininess of it keeps it like really, really fresh. You know what I mean? So aesthetics on point. Overall theme, Back to the Future. I mean, realistically, you know, TDG almost sums it up pretty well here in a short but sweet sentence, right? See you later, past. And again, going back to the future, you know, as we've all seen in the movie, it's kind of got a deeper meaning than most people really know. You know what I mean? So that's what I really, really like about a track like this is like you could take it for like its simple sort of meaning, or you could really dig in and you know, talk about, you know, your past, the future, the present, you know, so you could kind of dig in into some like really interesting themes here for sure. Or like I said, kind of take it as it's as is. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only a few followers away from 1.1K over there on the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow TDG on Twitter. They are quite literally 10 followers away from 170, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers, actually. We upload 2 times per week. Every single Thursday, every single Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Fucking go, my friends. Well done. Absolutely well done. Really, really chill way to kick off the show, for sure. Huge shout out to TDG, man. Our second Patreon of the night. So we left off with TDG. Up next is the homie Laveries, a very, very talented hip hop artist. Again, another artist that had a stellar fucking 2025 and is really kicking off 2026 again in a really, really hot way. They came through with an unreleased track titled Midas Touch. Unreleased from 2025 from me and the homie. I'm down for some unreleased, man. You already know I'm always down for some unreleased. That's a fact. For sure. Now, again, I'm really excited to see what Laverius has plans for 2026. So, this will be a very interesting way to kind of kick it off, right? Some unreleased from 2025. Let's get into it. Laverius, Midas Touch. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Laverius.
When it comes to the money, I'm staying fantastic. So I walk around cocky, they think I'm sarcastic. A lot of fakes in the game, artificial like plastic. All the moves that I make beneficial, not drastic. Shit, I got the Midas touch. Step in the party, I cut the volume up. Look at the table and then I grab my cup. I get the
Holy
and I
shit.
feel I'm about to turn up. Shit, damn, I'm all blacked out. Stacked to the ceiling, I'm finna cash out.
Laverius about to kill this. What?
Get a bag now. They say you're missing the vision, like they keeping tabs out. When it comes to the money, I'm staying fantastic. So I walk around cocky, they think I'm sarcastic. A lot of fakes in the game, artificial like plastic. All the moves that I make beneficial, not drastic.
Shit, I got the Midas touch. Everything I touch is gold, yeah, I'm 1-1. Hit me for a verse, how I get your numbers up. They ask me how I get it done. I walk in and I get it done. Man, this shit ain't nothing to me, coming straight up off the dome. I could never be alone, I need a bitch to give me dome. She can't hit on all my songs, that's okay, she just a throw. I got clear bitch and I been 2 weeks off the dope. I ain't tripping, though, I might just hop back on that shit. I need a vape boy, bitch, let me pussy lick. I got voices in my head, you might think I'm scared. Better send this track back, you already know we made a hit.
When it comes to
Wow.
the money, I'm staying fantastic. So I walk around cocky, they think I'm sarcastic. A lot of fakes in the game, artificial like plastic. All the moves that I make beneficial, not drastic. When it comes to the money, I'm staying fantastic. So I walk around cocky, they think I'm sarcastic. A lot of fakes
This
in
is
the game,
tough.
artificial like plastic. All the moves that I make beneficial, not drastic.
Wow. This is really tough. I'm surprised this didn't come out. I'm actually really, really fucking surprised this didn't come out. Holy shit. That is wow. You know, I say this a lot, and it's because every like collab keeps getting like better and better, but I like this as a duo. I already knew immediately, but the hook is kind of like the hook sold me, and then Laverius just comes in and like literally bodies this. Like literally fucking bodies this. So wow. All right, let's talk about it, especially with the unreleased demo sort of vibe in mind, right? So let's break it down. We're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Midas Touch. So, instrumental, love this beat. Simple, very effective, loud, hard-hitting, sound selection is great. They both sound really great on it, but it has that good, like, dark trap, fast-paced sort of vibe that Laverius really does well, right? So, off rip, I love the choice. The mix, even though it is a demo, sounds really fucking solid. Drums are great, sound selection is great, vocals sit nice. The 808 in particular kind of sold me on this. You guys know how I feel about, you know, certain 808s and things like that. So, the 808 was kind of up there for me. But again, no real gripes with the mix, even though it is a demo too, right? Like nothing really to like super point out. Instrumental Shining Star, got to be the drums, 100%. Even though the melody is kind of catchy in there, the drums for sure sold me, 100%. And they could really talk about the structure here too for the instrumental, but I think drums kind of take the cake on this one, definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. Fantastic, again, especially for Skit, and then Laverius, you know, with this being a demo in mind, I feel like they both fucking killed it, you know what I mean? Again, obviously this could go through another round of engineering, but for where it's at and for it being just a demo, I think it's really fucking solid. You know what I mean? Like, there's only a few tweaks that this really needs. So, yeah, no real gripes on the mix, especially with it, you know, being a demo considered, right? The vocal mix solid, especially for both of them. Vocal shining star. Gotta be the flow and cadence and delivery for both of them. I mean, I kind of could say hook too, but the way that they both kind of slid on this was just perfect. You know what I mean? Like everything that you would expect from an instrumental like this. And then like how it starts off so hot too, like LaVerie's definitely like picked up the torch on this one for sure. So I'm gonna go with flow and cadence and delivery on this. Definitely. So instrumental solid. Definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Obviously unreleased, so no cover yet officially. So we got the default black profile picture there. And then overall theme, Midas Touch. I mean, relatively obvious, right? LaVerie's, saying, the Midas Touch line, but this is one where it's a straight banger. Like this is like two artists like at their best, 100%. Hook, delivery, the writing, the flow and cadence, like everything's like at like a top tier sort of level. So I really want this one to come out. This one is fucking sick for sure. So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie LaVerie. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow LaVerie's Leaks over here on SoundCloud, their secret SoundCloud account. And of course, make sure you go follow LaVerie's on Twitter as well. We're only 9 followers away from 150, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking go. So, let's continue on. Well done. That was our second Patreon of the night, and of course, our last but certainly not least Patreon of the night, the homie Ghost, a multi-genre talented producer and current nominee for Producer of the Year for 2025. So make sure you go get your votes in the pinned tweet in chat now, or you can do !awards. And all right, so Ghost coming through with another unreleased Dumb Ways to Die co-prod vendor Drill 136 BPM. Now, Ghost has really been coming through with the unreleased. They have a vault stacked of shit that we've reacted to. And 2026, I assume, is going to be no different. So, dive into it. Let's see what we got from the homie Ghost. Pop it open a new tab of Rooney here. All right, let's get into it. Ghost, Dumb Ways to Die. Let's go. Oh, what a great sample. I was kind of hoping it was this. A great sample choice. Wow. This one's so peaceful. melody really is crazy too. The end is so good too. Skype type beat. Great fade out too. Really great fade out. So well done, man. This is a great way to kick off a 2026, if I do say so myself. Ghost's last submission was great too, but this one is just like, wow. Sample, the structure, the drums, the everything. This one again is like the definition of like really what makes Ghost extremely fucking talented, for sure. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're talking about two things here because obviously no vocals. We're gonna talk about the instrumental and we're talking about the overall theme of Dumb Ways to Die. So, instrumental mix, fucking fantastic. Again, I can't even recall if ever the last time we've gotten a submission from Ghost where I've even like questioned the fucking mix. You know, there's like small fucking minuscule shit that you could be like super nerdy and picky about. But face value off like a raw listen with no bias, like there really isn't a time where I'm like, oh, that mix could be better or this could be louder. You know, this is right in line with like what I expect from Ghost. So not really a shocker to me, but again, something you always want to point out for anybody new here. The mix is fantastic, absolutely fucking fantastic, especially with the vocal sample mixed in there and how it's used as like a hook. I think it's great. So instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. Just might be the fucking structure. I won't lie to you, Chief. I think it just might be the fucking structure. The drums are up there. I love how utilized the sample is. But I think the structure here, even just looking at the wave, like, it's just so, it flows so nice. And knowing that the sample is in the place of the hook, I just think it's great. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we gotta go structure here. We definitely got to go structure, for sure. I mean, you could argue drums, but let's go structure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, obviously unreleased, so we'll be dealing with aesthetics at a later date when this does come out. Overall theme, Dumb Ways to Die, I do feel like everything was centered around the vocal sample, and it worked so well. Not like everything, right? But I feel like the structure, the drums, the melody really complemented it, right? And that's why I said during the listen that it was sort of peaceful, right? And it was very, like, calming. It was kind of like, all right, you're like, yeah, like, you're just kind of, like, laid back and chilling. Like, all I pictured was, like, a beach and just, like, sand for some reason, right? A very summer-type vibe. So, I feel like they nailed it. 100% they fucking nailed it. So, well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout-out to Dom and Ghost. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter, by the way. They're only 3 followers away from 540. It's a W milestone, so make sure you go show them some love in the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all the good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking go. Alrighty, so let's get back into it. That was our last Patreon for the night, so huge shout out to all of our current and past Music Mondays Patrons. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. But we're gonna dive into the rest of our community submissions. So you guys know the drill, man. We're just gonna keep it natural and go top to bottom. So up first is a very, very talented hip hop artist, the homie Sam's Raps. Now they came through the track from the homies over at Sauce Gang, The Last Bento. The more the song pops up in my daily shovel, the more the verses are cemented into my head. So many good ones in here. The Last Bento by Sauce Gang featuring Sam's Raps, Apollo, Uggy, Amenta, Yeti, Coffee Bee, and the homie Ugo. So we've reacted to quite literally every single one of these artists here on the show, but this will be the first time that we're reacting to them in 2026. So I'm excited. Let's get into it. Now, The Last Bento. Let's see. Now, we've reacted to quite a few tracks from Sauce Gang and, of course, Sam's Raps as well. But this is definitely not one that we have reacted to yet. This is track 3 of a 3-track EP. Oh, yeah. I think we've reacted to track 2, maybe? I'm not sure. 2025, when did this drop? June, okay. June. I vaguely remember reacting to track 2, but I'm not sure. But regardless, let's get into it. Sam's Raps, Sauce Gang, The Last Bento, let's get into it. Am I not subscribed? Currently, you are not, my friend. Not at the moment.
Sit down a minute. If the Wolfman was here, he'd say, get your ass in gear. The Wolfman comes in here occasionally. It's a great, big, beautiful world out there. And here I sit. I'm not a young man anymore.
Yeah. Chilling out with shit. Look. I be getting to the green like chlorophyll. They see the steeds trying to bite it like I'm Holyfield. You know the deal, pen leaking like an oil spill. Spitting 16s till I'm back beneath the soil. Feels like one of these nights I'm about to catch a flight and disappear from your life. Shit, it could be tonight. Now I know the red flag, dissipating the gas. Less some dope in a flask, whole bag full of cash.
I'm from the back of the class,
Wow.
I'm talking last of the last. And hip-hop seems to be the only passion I have. So I'm mapping the path of how to make it work for me. I try to find education, like every page I turn I read. So what you know, you learn something new every day. Smoking on a blunt in Tampa, we call it lemonade. Marinate my brain, let the thoughts start to process. I go deep within and get lost in subconscious.
Blunt rap resembling conscious. Cumulus purple and pink, the smoke was my commas. Flows holy as Moses, the stoke was my karma. Pit vipers and mimosas, what's real isn't golden. Life's a breeze, putting mics in tornadoes. Eyes open in the underground, do dirt, potatoes. 3 G's getting sauced up. Beefsteak, heirloom, Roma, tomatoes.
If eight's on the menu, then I'm feasting off the rations. Marinating pain till the cuts become platinum. Streets choir singing hymns over dirty anthems. Bombery, my vision kept it steady, pushing limits. Shoving up a legacy, make critics do the dishes. Recipe of fates, got the script from the reapers. I just played it what was real, then turned the prisons into Eden. We created from the still, then earned the wisdom while we scheming.
I should know that I'm more important than the credit score. Couldn't buy love, looked above, now my eyes closed. What I'm praying
Holy
for,
shit.
hope this settle scores. Me and God ain't got along since a little boy, insecure. Some days I feel annoyed, searching for my purpose, trying to fill the void till I'm killing noise. I wanna make sure that I'm heard. I put meaning in every word.
Keep the word small when I'm masking. Respect and my money weren't asking. Shine from the grow with a baskin. 31 flavors got cream like baskins. Flex like Pascal, Mr. Fantastic. Last week of trash, son, best to move past it. Y'all got an issue, free to take a rash action. Can't win them all, I'd rather die than think that shit. Can't win them all, I'd rather die than think that shit. What? Sauce Gang 25, bitch. Ba-da-da-da, yeah.
Just flowed so effortlessly. Yeah, man. I think Sam's Raps really summed it up pretty well here. The more the song pops up in my daily shuffle, the more the verses are cemented in my head. So many good ones in here. I agree. And you know what? It just has that good, like, chill kind of feeling when, like, you know, it feels like all of them were sitting around, like, a coffee table, and they were all just, like, passing their verses around. You know what I mean? It was very, like, chill, almost, like, dark, but it was daylight. It was very, like, specific, but I do feel like they were almost all around, like, a round table for this one here. So extremely well done. This one's fantastic. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of the last bento. So instrumental, fantastic. Prod by the homie Ugo. Again, we've heard a lot of their production here on the show, so again, not really a shocker that it's fucking absolutely mint. But again, the mix is solid. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Has that good jazzy sort of boom bap vibe that I know a lot of these guys really, really kill it on. Especially Sam's raps, right? Definitely an instrumental that I could see Sam's raps just killing in general. But I do like the choice from the crew, 100%. Has that good cypher sort of feel, nice and long. It has that like big like open space, right? Somewhat of a canvas for everybody to kind of like do what they want on this. So again, like I said, I do like the choice, but the mix is great. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would like ultimately switch up, especially along with their verses. Sauce Gang in general always has a really, really solid mix, no matter who's on their tracks, right? So, like I said earlier, not really a shocker, but something I always want to point out for anybody new, right? So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, the drums are up there for me, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the melodies here, just because it brings that real chill, comfy, sort of like open conversation kind of vibe, right? So I think we're gonna go melodies here, definitely. Drums are a close second. I do like structure as well, but yeah, I think we're gonna have to go melodies. It just brings the mood, you know. So instrumental solid, definitely melodies. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, for all of Sauce Gang, especially Sam's raps, everybody sounds fucking fantastic. Everybody's voice is so different, but the mix itself and the quality of everything is so fucking consistent. You know what I mean? So I feel like they all really, really did a good job delivering and really kind of like giving their best when it comes down to this recording, right? So as far as quality and levels go, and like how all the verses transition, man, I feel like everybody fucking killed this across the board. Again, like I said, not really a shocker for Sauce Gang, right? They have a very, very consistent mix when it comes down to their instrumentals and their vocals. So, not really a shocker. But something you always want to point out for anybody new here, right? So, let's see here. Vocal mix definitely solid. Absolutely. Especially as far as quality levels go. For sure. Vocal Shining Star. Oh, man. Everybody's flow and cadence and delivery was fantastic, but I feel like the writing here was so interesting and it like forced you to pay attention. I feel like you gotta say writing on this one. You know what I mean? Like you really, really gotta say writing and lyrics. I feel like everybody connected so well and they were all in the same sort of timing and energy. Yeah, let's go writing and lyrics on this one for sure. You could argue flow and cadence and delivery, but I think writing and lyrics take the cake here. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, this is from Sunsets in Sepia. Fantastic, especially for something like this in the title. A 3-track EP. Love the border. Kind of has that kind of like good photo sort of feel to it. I love the text choice as well in the bottom mid. The tape in the top right. And then the almost like watercolor-ish painting in the background, especially with the birds and then the sun. Anything with a sunset is just so like something about it, and like with the title, right? It's just working, you know, and especially for like how the last bento sounds, and I'm sure the whole project, it really does bring that sort of peaceful inner city, jazzy, almost noir kind of vibe, right? So aesthetics definitely on point, especially for a project. I love it personally, 100%. Overall theme, the last bento. Like I said, it does really bring that sort of like round table, pass the mic around sort of vibe, right? And they're all just like sipping coffee or tea or alcohol, and they're all just like sort of telling their stories, right? Like on a round table. That's all I kept picturing for this track in particular, right? So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to the homies over at Sauce Gang and Sam's Raps. Make sure you go follow all of them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Sam's Raps on Twitter, by the way. They're approaching 1.2K on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Money's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers, so we upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you can show these artists and channels some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Let's fucking get it, baby. All right, so we left off the homie Sam's Raps. Up next is the homie Fleetwood DeVille, a first-time submitting artist. Wow. Okay, I'm down. I'm absolutely down. Fleetwood DeVille submitted The Perfect Intersection. I just released a new tape on Tuesday called The Perfect Intersection by Fleetwood DeVille. I'm down. All right. So, first-time submitting artist. We don't know what to expect. We're going blind, going raw, and see what we got. Holy shit, this is a 45-minute single track. Okay, so we're going to listen up to the first track, then give our thoughts on this very first track, obviously. Let's see here. Interesting. Released January 6th, so quite literally barely a week ago. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Fleetwood DeVille, The Perfect Intersection, track 1. Let's go.
What's going on is the most exquisitely woven tapestry of ideas that you've ever seen.
This is a battle report to the chairman. Here's how I set it off. This is a battle report to the chairman. Here's how I set it off. This is a battle report to the chairman. Here's how I set it off. I ask Allah to guide my heart and to guide my tongue. I seek refuge in Allah from misleading and from being misled, from betraying and being betrayed into ignorance by others. This is a battle report to the chairman. Here's how I set it off. All the sisters doing last days time behind enemy lines. Save the overtime for me. Kids doing mad bids. Concentrating in these camps. Hard timers. The real frontliners, stressed without rest against a government who makes slaves while protesting smoothly the end of slavery. Indeed, the devil's greatest trick is to make you think he don't exist. Death row, what a brother know. I'm that real lethal injection. Gonna treat this lame like a viral infection. You know what I mean? Jamil Al-Amin. I'm the one who they least expected. What I'll call free 'em all. That's by hostile demand. No you the man. No shout out. No applause. I don't need it, y'all. Lead story on the international news. Say Imam Jamil still taking lanes to school. I'm the sun that rose in the west. I told the best to tell the rest. I'm the answer and the test. Ain't trying to give you nothing to dance to. Trying to give you something that'll give you a chance, dude. Get you out of that trance, fool. So American. They black by popular demand. But they take black back if they ain't popular with the name.
Yes, sir. This is Champion Red Jr. This is live with that Greg Honor. Be with our brother, freedom fighter. Man, Jamil Al-Amin, known to community H. Brown. Now, throughout your lifetime, respond to your fine examples, undying love for black people, humanity in general. You can attack not only my generation, even my daddy's Champion Red Senior. I'd like to ask you, man, give us just some basics on, undying spirit, which we can literally feel on the phone. Express that to us. How do you maintain your undying spirit?
Again, all praise is due to Allah. Allah has said that He has created man for toil and struggle. Again, it is that sense of what's called conscious struggle, when you're able to engage in a conscious struggle against those people who oppose you being human. You're always energized by the fact that the Creator has given you that certain understanding and that energy to fight against oppression. He says, fight against tyranny and oppression. It is worse than slaughter. So again, it is that thing that the Creator has endowed us with that enables us to struggle on any level. But when it becomes conscious, when the struggle becomes conscious, then we understand that, we don't have an option really, man. It's much like in the sense of struggle is the price that you pay for your soul, man. See, we all doing life without parole.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt.
Wow. Holy shit.
What's going on is the most exquisitely woven tapestry of
Okay, so this was very interesting. I didn't know what to expect, right? Because obviously, first time submitting artists, so you never really know what to expect, right? So, this was supposed to be track 1, right? But we're about like 4, almost 5 minutes in, and there was no cut. There was no like full transition into the next track. So that's the thing with a lot of these like one track uploads, right? Like you definitely got to make sure that you're like giving a little space between each track, or essentially you're just making a mix, right? Might as well just be a mix essentially. So that's what was interesting about this, but vocals were more so just spoken word, like not much of a verse to kind of dive into here, which again, if this was split up into different tracks, this would have been like an okay intro, right? Because people would have got like the gist that it's like an intro. But because it's like at the beginning of a mix and it just kind of like continues on, it's a little bit rough for like a first time listener, right? So that's one thing I would change about this. But again, this is something that you could tell is special, it just needs to be packaged like a little bit differently. But again, well done. We will go over aesthetics though. Aesthetics we definitely will go over. Again, when it comes down to the perfect intersection, this is quite the picture. Again, it reminds me of like those aerial space shots a bit. You know what I mean? But almost like, intersections and roads and kind of like the road that life takes you almost, right? But again, Fleetwood DeVille, bottom left, the perfect intersection, bottom right. Again, aesthetics definitely on point. I feel like for 44 minutes, though, this is definitely a rough first listen for a lot of first-time listeners. So I would break this up into individual tracks, right? Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have like 11 tracks on here within like 44 minutes, right? So I would definitely split that up and then kind of see what tracks, kind of stand out. But still keep it a project, right? But well done. Well done. Very interesting first-time submission, but would love to dive more into the discography for sure. So, huge shout out to Fleetwood DeVille. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on Bandcamp, and of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're approaching 2.1K on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there at the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And like I said, if you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Let's fucking get it, baby. Didn't want to interrupt, but we'll fix later. No worries, my friend. No worries at all. Not a rush. You're all Gucci. Pretty sick. Yeah, that was interesting. A lot of that spoken word stuff is very, very interesting. Kind of a long intro for sure. But still a solid first time submission nonetheless, I will say. But we're about halfway through the show. You guys know the drilly. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're going to dive into the rest of our community submissions. So again, I'm going to need all you guys to get up, go stretch your legs, go get a smoke, go get a snack, go walk the dog, maybe go get some soup or anything like that. And like I said, when we return, we're going to dive right back into the rest of the community submissions. So don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays Podcast, episode 259. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Hope you had a good break, but let's dive right back into the rest of the community reviews. So, dive in. We left off with the homie Fleetwood DeVille. Up next would be the homie TDG and Levaries, but we've already reacted to them earlier in the show, so make sure you go show them some love and watch the beginning of episode 259. And huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons. You guys are fucking wonderful. Much love. Welcome back. Let's fucking get it, Jeremiah. Hope you're well, my friend. Let's go. So, up next is the homie Braden. Braden is actually up for 2025 Artist of the Year, so make sure you go get your votes in right now in the pinned tweet or on our Twitter and Instagram. But Braden, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, came through with track number 5 off their latest project titled ETB. I'm down. Let's get into it. Again, Braden had a stellar 2025, and they're keeping up that motion heading into the new year. This one's going to start off hot. Holy shit. So again, yeah, this is track 5, and we've reacted to no, wait, pause. The wrong project. We haven't even touched that project yet. Here we go. My hair is messy. Do you still love me? So again, track 1 On a Cloud, track 2 Late Nights, track 3 Overseas, track 4 Sweet and Mild, and track number 5 PTB. I'm down. So we're about halfway through the project. Let's get into it. So, bobbed over a new tab. Let's get into it. Braden, PTB, let's go. Okay.
Bitch, I'm floating what you telling me, what you know on. All these silly bitches saying that I fell off. Even if I came up on me, felt like I was well off. Go with the chopper singing, thought we put a Dell on. Bitch, I'm floating what you telling me, what you know on. All these silly bitches saying that I fell off. Even if I came up on me, felt like I was well off. Go with the chopper singing, thought we put a Dell on. Now we smoking, told her pass the blunt. She hit me up with plans, couldn't pass them up. The way the money coming must be telling facts to some. I know you probably think I'm whack as fuck, shuddy. Got me flustered, got me acting up. And if my brother come around, I'll let you dap him up. Just know you fine and you mine, you ain't clapped to some. And if a pussy talking, he gon' end up slapped to some. Me and my dog took over the world, Rick and Morty. Some of these bitches still tryna find the beat like they Dory. Either way, I'm done to earth,
What
I
the
don't care
fuck?
if I'm corny. Everybody's life sucks, we all got a sob story. Either way,
What
I'm tryna
the
blow
fuck?
up just like a bomb. Bitch, don't tell me what to do, you ain't my fucking mom. Every day I'm locked in the stew and I'm making songs. And no one wife, no bitch if that hoe finna do me wrong. I've been pissed off every day. People treat me like I'm fake. You ain't tapped in with music, you ain't feeling like you Drake. Only in it for the cake, that's how I know that you bait. I've been pissed off every day. People treat me like I'm fake. You ain't tapped in with music, you ain't feeling like you Drake. Only in it for the cake, that's how I know that you bait. Bitch, I'm quoting what she's telling me, what you know on. All these silly bitches saying that I fell off. Even if I came up on me, felt like I was well off. Go with the chopper singing, thought we put a Dell on. Bitch, I'm quoting what she's telling me, what you know on. All these silly bitches saying that I fell off. Even if I came up on me, felt like I was well off. Go with the chopper singing, thought we put a Dell on. Now we smoking, told her pass the blunt. She hit me up with plans, couldn't pass them up. The way the money coming must be telling facts to some. I know you probably think I'm whack as fuck, shuddy. Got me flustered, got me acting up. And if my brother come around, I'll let you dap him up. Just know you fine and you mine, you ain't clapped to some. And if a pussy talking, he gon' end up slapped to some.
What? What the fuck? Wow. Holy shit. Fantastic outro too, like holy shit. Still trying to find the beat. Like, dude, there's so many lines in here that were really, really heat. Like, really, really fucking good writing on this one. Good beat. I like this one. I agree, my friend. I agree. Well done. Well done. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of PTB. So, instrumental. I love the choice. Again, a very Braden type of instrumental. fast paced, kind of has that like all pop sort of flavor, but still very trap centered as well. Again, just super high energy for sure. So again, I like the choice, definitely. Um, Instrumental mix, fantastic, especially with the drums. The instrumental mix is very much on point for sure, definitely. Brain's instrumental mix has always been on point. Again, this is another one of those artists that's very consistent with their mixes across the board. So again, not really a super shocker to me, but something I always want to point out for anybody new here, right? But for again, as erratic as this instrumental is, and how many sounds and parts there are for this instrumental, the mix is fantastic for sure. So instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. I was gonna say the structure, but I think the drums kind of take the cake here. The drums just keep up the bounce and the pace so well. You know what I mean? Like really, really well. So I think going drums here is going to be the good play for sure. So instrumental shining star, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, fantastic. It has a very standard Braden mix on this. They didn't go too crazy with like a different style. It's a very consistent mix. The whole project really has been very, very consistent when it comes down to their mix. And like I've been saying for each listen, like this just sounds like a very mature Braden, and not like age wise creatively. They sound very, very mature. So vocal mix on this one very much on point. No gripes here at all. Vocal shining star. Got to be the writing and lyrics. Flow and cadence and delivery is amazing too. Like really, really fun. But the writing and lyrics, there were just so many lines that just stuck out to me that I was like, yo, that is clever. That is really, really clever. So I think writing and lyrics kind of take the cake on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing, lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. I've spoke about this cover quite a few times already, but we're still gonna go over it again per usual. Love this cover, especially for a project. Just the ode to like the blue style that Braden has been doing as of recently. With the blue kind of shining through the window, I think is super fucking solid. You know what I mean? I mean the whole photo really, but the window kind of makes this one for me, especially for a project. So, aesthetics definitely on point for sure. Overall theme, PTB. This is one where again it's very honest Braden writing. You know what I mean? Very braggadocious, but very real, and again very honest. You can tell everything here is coming from the heart. Like, even some of the more like extreme lines are still coming from the heart. You know what I mean? So this is a very honest Braden track, and I think this one shines a lot on this project, and it's a great track 5, like a great like halfway midpoint track for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Braden. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only 5 followers away from 390. And of course, make sure you go follow Braden on Twitter. They are only 8 followers away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, we left off with the homie Braden. Fantastic submission. Up next, we have another Artist of the Year submission from the homies over at the Single Digits. Now, actually, I just realized that all of our 2025 Artist of the Year nominations submitted tonight. We have the homie Braden, we have the homie Single Digits, and we have the homie Most Dope Team on down here. So all of our artists definitely did submit tonight. That's awesome. It just kind of proves like why they're up for 2025 Artist of the Year, right? But like I said, up next we got the homies, the Single Digits, a way to make it through. If you have time, appreciate it. Always got time, my friends. Submissions always close every single Monday about a couple hours before the show starts. So you always have about a week or so to get your submissions in. But the Single Digits, a very talented artist, came through with a way to make it through. I'm down. This is from their project, Shadows and Silhouettes, I believe. Yes, indeed. Now, we've reacted to quite a few of these tracks, I think. I think we did, quite a few of these. There are 13 on here. But I believe it is like Tequila Sunrise and a High Five. And maybe Hoping Like There's No Tomorrow. I believe there was a few of these that we reacted to, but I'm down. Let's get into it. A Single Digits, a way to make it through. Let's go. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Powerful. Per usual, but very powerful. Very, very powerful. Wow. Well fucking done. That was very, very high energy. That was awesome, man. That was awesome. Ghost in the chat, welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Welcome on in. How's the reactions been? Fantastic. We had a fucking great night so far. Single Digits, a band or a guy? I believe it's a solo person, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, let's get it. This was great. This whole project is just so full of energy, man. So full of energy. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals. And we're going to talk about the overall theme of A Way to Make It Through. So, instrumental. Again, fantastic. Like, fucking fantastic, man. Like, the instrumental is just one of those things where when it comes down to Single Digits, their instrumentals are just so... They're full of energy, they're raw, they're real, but the mix is just fucking insane. Like, always insane, especially when it comes to, you know, live instrument-based instrumentals. The Single Digits just does such a good job with all their engineering and how their tracks turn out. Everything just sounds so fucking crisp, like really, really crisp. So, instrumental mix very much on point. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, gotta be the structure, right? Especially like the solo at the end. The structure is just insane. The structure is really, really fucking insane. So I think we're gonna have to go with the structure for sure. You could argue the drums here and the melodies too, but I think structure takes the cake for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, single digits. Same thing with their vocals and their instrumentals, man. It's just so crisp, clean, clear, straight to the fucking point, man. They're so raw and real, but still have that like, clean crispiness to them, but still very gritty as well. You know what I mean? They hit like such a sweet spot for their style of like alt punk, alt rock. So well done, well done. I am such a big fan of their vocals. Um, the vocal mix very much on point. Vocal shining star. Um, hmm, could be the hook. I think writing in general is really solid on this, but I think we're gonna go hook. The hook is very catchy and very memorable for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Shadows and Silhouettes is a cover that I've reacted to a few times before, but again, I love the simplicity of it, especially for a full length project. Longboard, beach, chillin', sunset, shadows and silhouettes, top mid, single digits, logo, bottom right. Absolutely fantastic. You know what I mean? Absolutely fantastic. So, aesthetics absolutely on point. Love this one, and it really represents the feel of this project too. Like the more you dive into these tracks, you could tell like why this one kind of really makes sense. Overall theme, a way to make it through. I mean, it's quite literally in the title, a way to make it through. The single digits is very motivational, but also very real. And they really kind of you know split it in between like being raw and real, but also being like motivational. So there's lots of emotions when it comes down to the single digits, but they do a good job really packaging it in a way where you can kind of decipher it all, but take what you want and leave the rest. You know, so that's one of those things. But well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie, the single digits. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow single digits on Twitter. They are only 2 followers away from 510, so make sure you go show them some love, baby. Much love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. If you haven't already, we're approaching 340 subscribers on our channel. We do upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. Let's fucking get it. You got anything to say about the board of the cover, buddy? You go ahead. Shout out the Longboarders, man. They're kind of big names. Can't believe you got Kendrick Lamar on the product. I wish. It's still good artists, low fan base. Did you like the sample, by the way? Oh, no, that was great. That was great, Ghost. No, the reaction was key, man. The reaction was fucking key. That was awesome. That was a great submission. Dumb Ways to Die was legendary. But we left off with the homie Single Digits. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious, a multi-talented producer, designer, writer, editor, videographer, all the above. Offspring Mysterious has came through with a brand new YouTube upload titled Imaginary Linens. Interesting. Okay, so like I said, Offspring is a multi-talented creative, and their YouTube game has stepped up significantly with a lot of their concepts and their editing, and they're really diving into different stuff for 2025 and heading into 2026. So I'm definitely down here, my friends. I'm definitely down. So let's get into it. Vendor did so good for the sample. No, literally, shout out Vendor. And Ghost coming through with the what? Holy shit, Ghost coming through with the 10 bomb. What the fuck? Ghost coming through. Okay, go off, I guess. Holy shit, Ghost coming through with the 10 right before, man. Right before. Holy shit, Ghost coming through. Oh man, much fucking love, Ghost. Let's fucking get it, baby. Ghost fucking smashing that sub goal. Holy fuck, 37. 30 fucking 7. My fucking goat, man. Let's fucking get it, baby. Much love. Thank you so much, Ghost. You definitely don't have to do that, man. Top spot is fine. Literally, I can't believe you did it. You snagged the top spot with 40. That is crazy. Plez has been in that top spot for so long, too. That is fucking gnarly. That is so gnarly. Holy fuck. That is so gnarly. Wow. Let's fucking go. Much love, Ghost. Thank you so much, King. They're a fucking goat. Let's fucking get it, baby. 37. Holy shit. My god, smash the sub goal. Literally smash the sub goal. Don't make me get 41. 41 would be crazy. Alright, let's get into this ghost, sorry, not this ghost, this Offspring Mysterious submission here. Let's get into it. Imaginary Linens, let's go. Ghost coming through the last 40. Let's fucking go, Kate. Thank you so much, man. You're a fucking legend for that. Holy shit, Ghost. Actual fucking go, man. Fucking get it, baby. All love, bro. No, much fucking love to you, my friend. Much fucking love. Absolute fucking legend right here. Back with the Offspring, baby. This is insane. Kind of like crazy build up. Oh. Offspring's really getting wacky with it. How he walk like that? Oh, he's skating around on... Okay, I see. I see the vision. I get it. I get it. He's like, what the fuck? The pause of fair. I was getting the build up. No, literally cut off right at the drop too. I like the spot he chose. Blue ball mysterious. January 19th. Wait, that's next Monday. That's the Music Mondays Awards. What the fuck? Oh shit. Promo has launched, my friends. I like the idea that people in this town are just like, there's this guy with a TV head again. Yeah, no, literally, he's definitely like the OG TV head for sure, no question. This was interesting and mysterious and really well edited all at the same time. There's quite a few things that I enjoyed about this, to be quite frank. I love the concept. I love the mysterious ending. I think the outro was great, especially with the date. But I think the thing that's going to be the shining star here, if I'm going to be honest with you, is the editing when it comes down to the stop motion. I feel like the stop motion has leveled up again, and Offspring is getting more and more creative with the shit that they do when it comes down to a lot of their stop motion. So, yeah. I think shining star here got to be the editing, for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Been really leveling up the concepts recently, and I love it. Fantastic. Huge shout out to Offspring Series. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go subscribe to them on YouTube. They're only 6 subs away from 250. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're only 8 followers away from 820, so make sure you go show them some love. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. much love. We already have. Thank you. Definitely improving with what he do. Yeah, no, for sure. Offspring's taking like all the good stuff and kind of like really trying to level it up. Definitely agree. And yeah, Ghost, thank you so much for that other gifty, by the way. Cracking the 40 even on the fucking month, baby. Let's fucking go, Ghost. Thank you so much. Ghost coming through with another 10, man. That's our fucking go right there. So let's see. Up next would be the homie Ghost, but we've already reacted to Ghost earlier in the show, so make sure you check out the beginning of episode 259 and definitely go check out what a Ghost sampled because it's fucking insane. And huge shout out to Vendor. But up next is the homie Dry My Eyes, a very talented multi-genre artist, has came through with their first submission for 2026. Now, they had a stellar 2025, especially more towards the end. But 2026 has come through with a unreleased demo untitled 12/30/25 Super Demo. Unimportant track. Very interesting caption there. Unimportant. Very interesting way to put it. I'm down, Dry My Eyes. I'm down. Pop this open. Oh, we got a little unreleased here. Okay, we got a little unreleased link. All right. One ain't shit on God. Okay, all right. Let's get into it. Dry My Eyes, unreleased demo untitled. Let's go. Wow.
This shit is inspirational, I wrote this in my dreams. I always had a brain from, but never had a means. I took a long vacation and I came back feeling clean. But I don't have the patience for you fuck y'all shit. I don't close my eyes, I turn the page now. Growing to this star, it's been painful. I've been on this grind for a minute, well. I know I was a child, don't remember now. If you don't wanna die, man, forget it. World been way too cool for people who can't push their limits. Driving down the highway, I'm way too high, but I think I'll be alright. Nah, I'm sorry, God. I took all your gifts I never given. Gave a woman everything, she let me still get rid of. I lost all my friends when I was out there chasing pictures. Y'all make our own choices. I can beg forgiveness. I don't feel so awful when I'm all alone. I see my own face in a reflection in the styrofoam. You never have my back and then you're lonely and you call my phone. I answer cause I get it, cause I've been it, cause I really know. I ain't gonna blame you for your problems. As a human, we're imperfect, yeah, you know me, I got some. I don't really feel like I'm on some. I still got some drugs up in my system, cause I'm on some. This shit is inspirational, I wrote this in my dreams. I always had a brain for 'em, I never had a means. Driving down the highway, I'm so damn high, but I think I'll be alright. Man, shout out my homies, shout out everybody know. Man, shout out everybody love me, everybody phony. That's some real shit, I don't think I'm humble. I barely think it all, I know it still can't kill me. I'm drippy, I'm filthy, I'm too fucking drippy. I'm not too much health and I'm not really wealthy. I just got clothes on, I just wanna win it for my bro. Life don't get no better. Cause every time I fuck around, I always find out. I guess it's like they always say, your mind won't change the weather. But it doesn't mean the sky falls down ice, you can't avoid the pieces. I'm sorry, I know they said, oh God, maybe we could lie down. We've been let go. I know that we can feel so fed up. And this is all the same. I stuck my pins up in another place. Set my napkins in a photo, clean the scuff off shades. I set my life up on the rubber with a shot off face. You're not a product of your problems when you're short on taste. If you can face that, tighten up the pace back and shut it. You need to slow down, you should know how to come up and make it your world and make your own route. It's all on you, test some shoulders, don't stress and show up. You're blessed with more things and not just always. And yes, it's true. It's so life don't get no better. Cause every time I fuck around, I always find out. I guess it's like they always say, your mind won't change the weather. But that doesn't mean the sky falls out nice, you can't avoid the pieces.
Whoa. Okay. Holy shit. If you weren't feeling something, well, now you're definitely feeling something, my friends. Holy shit. This is why you have to stay towards more of the late night end of the show, man, because you see submissions like this, and it's just like, you're like, what the fuck? This one is definitely heavy, but also very inspirational as well. I feel like this one was very, like, well constructed and well thought out. Like, really, really well thought out, too. Telling a straight story here throughout so many different emotions, too. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, obviously, a demo. We're not going to go super hard on everything, but we will talk about it and break it down. So, we're going to talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. And we're talking about the overall theme of this untitled Dry My Eyes brand new release. Instrumental, I love the choice. I mean, it's got so much emotion, but it still brings a lot of that, like, punch that you need to, like, make an impact on said emotion, right? It's not just a piano. It's not just, you know, a melody. It's got a few moving parts. Like I said, I do really like the choice here for Dry My Eyes. But the instrumental mix is very much on point. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would really change, especially with the melody. I think Dry My Eyes sounds really solid on top of it as well. Levels were good. Nothing that, like, really kind of, like, bugged me out right on the first listen. Definitely not, especially with it being in demo as well. But keeping that in mind, instrumental makes very much on point. Even the sound selection's great, too. You know what I mean? So, instrumental makes solid. Instrumental shining star. I mean, it's got to be the melodies, right? Got to be the melodies. Combine two unrelated beats. Ah, yeah. So there you go. There you go. So I kind of figured it was like a, like one of those 2-for-1 sort of deals, right? So now that we do know that, with that in mind, I do think the melodies across both instrumentals kept up the emotion that was needed for a track like this. So ultimately, I think we got to go melodies here. Drums for both were solid too, but I think the melodies were very much on point. Yeah, let's go melodies. Let's definitely go melodies for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely melodies. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, unreleased demo. Fantastic though. I really, really like the grittiness of it. I love how Dry My Eyes sounds on this. You know, you can still get a lot of the emotion, but it still has that good, like, Dry My Eyes, like, effect, sort of, that you're used to throughout a lot of their tracks, right? That's one thing I really like about it is it keeps the Dry My Eyes sort of sound, but also it's still continuing to strive to be more melodic and something new and something fresh, and it still feels fresh, right? That's what I really like about this vocal mix. And again, even though it is a demo, it still sounds really, really fucking solid. I mean, of course, you can go back in and like kind of continue to workshop this, right? But for what it is now and as a demo, vocal mix is definitely on point. I like the vocal mix, especially for how melodic it is, right? So, vocal mix solid, vocal shining star, 100% the writing, 100% the writing. I mean, the flow and cadence and delivery kind of supports the writing a lot too, but I feel like the writing was very personal, very emotional, and it kind of like makes you pay attention. You know what I mean? It really, really does make you pay attention. So, I think we're gonna have to go writing and lyrics on this one for sure. It just forces you to pay attention, and it's telling a story, you know. So, yeah, let's go writing on this. So, instrumental solid, definitely melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the writing, lyrics. The stock theme. So aesthetics obviously unreleased, so no official cover yet. But we do have the Salty Tears screenshot there in the car POV there. So good temporary cover for sure. But aesthetics to be decided. Overall theme. Obviously untitled, but again, a very heavy sort of track, but also a very inspirational kind of track, right? Like if you really break down and listen to what Dry My Eyes is saying here, you're just like consuming so many emotions from so many different ranges, but also like you have someone as of a sense of inspiration too, you know? I definitely felt that in this track, 100%. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Dry My Eyes. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, and make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're only 3 followers away from 60, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Monday's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 340 subscribers, so we upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. If you already have, thank you, my friends. Much, much love. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Let's fucking go. So, we left off the homie Dry My Eyes. That was a fucking crazy emotional submission there, man. That was definitely like, that was definitely top tier. That was a crazy like later one in the show too. Wow. All right. Well done. So, up next is our other 2025 Artist of the Year nomination, Most Dope Kimon, a very talented multi-genre hip-hop artist, came through with a full album titled Shush. Now again, Most Dope Kimon has had a stellar 2025 between their projects, their visuals, their music videos, so many things that they did last year that were fucking stellar. But they submitted a brand new project that they must have just put out. So let's open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. I believe we ran through a lot of their earlier projects when it comes down to like 2P, and I'm pretty sure we did like the majority of that track list too. So definitely excited to see what Kimon has here for us on Shush. 4 songs, 8 minutes 44 seconds. Let's get into it. Paint her face. Let's go. I'm down. Is there lyrics here? Oh, YouTube Music has a lyrics section. That's sick. Appreciate the Zom. Appreciate the Dry My Eyes. Much love, my friend. Holy shit.
She said she do what I say. I got the rest on me. Baby, breaking the bank. My bitch pretty as hell. Still gon' paint her face. They like to live so they're crazy. Put a dick in her stomach. She say she my lady. Put a dick in her stomach. She said I'm the greatest. I put on her hair. She said she can take this. I hit from the back. I'm beating the pussy up. Yeah, pop out with killers and pop out with black truck with them sticks on us. My bitch, she pretty as fuck. I'm still gon' paint her face. You ass on me. Got that cash on me. Still got a freak with me. I wanna take my bitch. Sit on the shopping spree. We go Chanel. I got some baddies. Shopping spree. I wanna shop with me.
Holy shit.
On me. On me. Hell yeah, my baby, hell She said she do what I say. I got the rest on me. Baby, we breaking the bank. Mommy, she pretty as hell. Still gon' paint her face.
That's a great first song for a project. That's a great first fucking song. Wow, I like that one a lot. Again, that's a great intro for a project of like any project, literally. But well done. Let's talk about it. That was fun. Again, very bouncy as well. Let's break it down. Let's go through a few things here. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Pain in Her Face. So instrumental. Love the choice. Love the choice. Especially by Kimon. Kimon, like I said last reaction, bro, they just kind of know what they want when it comes down to instrumentals and whether they can slide on something and whether they can't, right? So they're very confident in their picks, and I just love this pick out of Kimon for sure. So let's talk about mix. So mix is fantastic. The 808 really, really fucking shines here. Sound selection's great. Kimon sounds great on it. Levels are good. Quality's good. Nothing that like really tweaked me out here. You know what I mean? Nothing that really like super tweaked me out. So I do like the instrumental mix a lot. Instrumental Shining Star, by the way, definitely the fucking drums for sure. That 808 is crazy, especially the patterns, but the 808, 100%. So Shining Star for the instrumental, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, fantastic. Kimon has a very consistent, solid vocal mix, especially when they're doing anything melodic or even kind of doing some like fast pace, like real like flow and cadence kind of shit. Like no matter what style they're doing, their mix is always very, very consistent. That's one thing you can definitely never take away from Kimon, for sure. The vocal mix very solid. Levels are good, quality solid. Nothing I would like really change. It's become such like a Kimon staple now. You know, like if you're a Kimon listener, you know exactly what I'm talking about for sure. So vocal mix on point. Vocal Shining Star. I've been liking Kimon's flow and cadence and delivery recently. I won't lie. You know, like their flow and cadence and delivery has just been so effortless and just so like it's so like figure skater like and like snowboard like. It's very like just flowy and kind of effortless, you know, very effortless. Which obviously it isn't, right? But man, it's hard not to go flow and cadence and delivery. It really is. But I think we're gonna have to go flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Went with the simple cover here, and I like it. I like it a lot. You guys know how I feel about the selfie kind of pictures, right? So if you're gonna use one of these, again, you could just use some like off guard, like screenshot of a video, or just like a regular selfie or anything like that. Sometimes if you just want to switch it up and don't feel like doing art, or maybe you just really have a vision for a certain project, and you're like, nah, I'm just using this selfie or I'm just using this IRL picture. I think it works out. You know what I mean? Simple but very effective, and this is perfect for like a small EP like this. You know what I mean? Only 4 tracks, definitely. For sure. So aesthetics on point. Pain in Her Face. So again, Kimon's a very like descriptive artist when it comes down to like their life and their lifestyle, and you know, when it comes down to like emotions and love and things like that. And Kimon somewhat gets braggadocious here, but not really. They kind of combine the two when it comes down to their emotions, and also kind of talking about like where they're at currently, right? With a lot of, you know, subjects like love. so it's a very interesting track, but I think Kimon really did their thing on this one. And this is one where you don't really want to dive too much into a theme and just kind of really enjoy it for what it is and for who Kimon is as an artist. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Amosto Kimon. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel over here on YouTube Music. And of course, make sure you go follow Kimon on Twitter as well. They're only 7 followers away from 30, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists some love, baby. Let's get it. Much love. Well done, my friends. Well done. Everybody's fucking killing it recently, man. Jesus. Kimon's already put out a project in 2026. Let's fucking go, man. Kimon don't give a fuck. That is sick. He came through with that for sure. Definitely busted out the yeah. Holy shit. Alright, so Weird. Last but certainly not least, a very, very talented artist by the name of Pez. They came through with a track titled Blackberry. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. Now, Pez, again, had a stellar 2025, and heading into 2026, we have a few things planned with Music Mondays and Pez. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. But again, they submitted a track titled Blackberry. Pop it open, new tab, we'll see what we got here. I love the name Blackberry. That's a great fucking name. Holy shit. Alright, we got a fucking banger coming in here for sure. So let's get into it. Pez, Blackberry, let's go. Oh shit. Holy shit. Wow. That one, once again, will definitely wake you up. If you were not awake before, now you are definitely fucking awake. Holy shit. That was just... Whew. And again, like, so many genres in here. You know what I mean? Like, so many fucking genres. But it has such a good, like, trap metal flavor, you know? And it's got so many moving parts. And the production is just fucking crazy, man. Like, absolutely fucking crazy. The verses were great, too. So, let's talk about it. Let's break down. Let's get into it. And I was actually just talking about Pez. Pez actually told me to listen to this recent project. So, it's nice to actually kind of finally dive in, right? And it's actually a decent length project as well. That was track 6 off of a 14-track project, right? So we definitely have a lot to go through when it comes down to Pez's recent. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Break it down. We're talking about 3 things here. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. We're talking about the overall theme of Blackberry. Instrumental kind of speaks for itself, right? So much genre blending and so much sound mixing and so many different types of sounds in this, but it works so well. And Pez is known for their sort of a wild creative side when it comes down to their production, and they fucking really, really showed it off here, especially with their crew, Vinny and Cole, right? So, instrumental mix, especially for an instrumental that has so many moving parts, is fucking fantastic. Especially the 808, gritty, grimy, muddy, but still really, really does the job for sure. So, instrumental mix, as wild as the instrumental is, fantastic. You know what I mean? Fantastic. It has the right amount of mud. You know what I mean? So, instrumental mix very much on point. Instrumental Shining Star, 100% the structure for sure. I was gonna say the drums, but Pez's structure is always such a journey, and it's always like you just never know what to expect. It's not like experimental in a bad way, but you just don't know what to expect. That's what I really love about the structure for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again for a track like this. I like the gritty vocal mix that they went with. Has almost like a drowned out sort of sound to it, and I feel like it works really well for this instrumental. So it really complements each other, right? I really feel like they both complement each other. Quality and levels were good, nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I thought was like really hindering the track. So vocal mix very much on point for sure, especially for a track like this, definitely. Vocal Shining Star on the other hand, I do like the flow and cadence and delivery, but the hook is up there too. Like that plug walk line is insane. I think we're gonna have to go flow and cadence and delivery though, because it matches so well with the instrumental. And it just really like makes for a fun, bouncy sort of track, right? Definitely has like a high energy to it as well. So, let's go flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. So for a 14-track project, I feel like this is a great cover, especially like for how like distorted it is, right? I feel like this represents Pez's sound so well. And I like the simplistic covers for like bigger projects. Like sometimes they work out well, right? So I do like this one a lot. And then again, another one of those covers where the more you look at it, the more you're gonna see, and the more detail you're gonna like pick up on, right? So aesthetics on point, absolutely. Overall theme, Blackberry. There's a couple ways that you could take this, right? But this is one where I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme. That autoplay feature is annoying. But this is one where I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme, and kind of take in the production and the vocals on this one for sure. Just because what you're hearing is so unique that like digging for a theme on the first listen anyway wouldn't really be beneficial. This is one where you definitely got to take in the talent of Pez and crew here for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Pez and crew. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Pez on Twitter as well. They're only 5 followers away from 280. Make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every hour is featured in today's episode, and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good chats over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. Much love. Yeah, baby. Forgot the default Xbox 360 profile picture. That shit's legendary too. That shit's so legendary. Alrighty, my friends, that concludes episode 259 of the Music Mondays podcast. Let's close it out. Let's show some love. Let's get some shout outs. Show some love to all of our submissions and everybody else in here. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Thank you. First off, huge shout out to everybody in the fucking chat tonight. The chat was fucking bumping per usual. Huge shout out to everybody that came through, even if you just lurked and chilled, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Huge shout out to, let's see here, we had a bunch of heads in the chat tonight. You guys are fucking wonderful. Huge shout out to the homie Drama Eyes. Huge shout out to the homie Kale. Huge shout out to the homie TDG. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost. And Ghost coming through with a quite literally fucking a 10 gift and then 3 more to cap it off at the even fucking 40. That is insane, my friend. That is absolutely fucking insane. Thank you, Ghost. You're a fucking legend, man. Much love. Ghost has came through and supported the stream so much. They're sitting at 42 total. And Plez is sitting at 49, man. Ghost is a fucking... That's just crazy. This is definitely like my highest sub count ever too, especially with like all my consistent subs and Ghost coming through with the support. So that is fucking legendary. Huge shout out to Ghost. Thank you so much for the love, man. And again, it's never any pressure to sub, man. But again, you do support the stream by subbing. and you gain some ad-free viewing. You gain access to a whole bunch of emotes and a whole bunch of other good stuff. So, if you can sub, great. If not, no worries, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. I only appreciate it if you're in the stream and watching and viewing. That's all I care about, man. But again, much love to the homie Ghost. Thank you so much for the 13 bomb. Ghost is fucking legendary for that, man. Huge shout out to anybody else that lurked and chilled, man. Like I said, even if you just came through and lurked in the stream, you guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. Huge shout out to Dry My Eyes again. Can we start episode 260? Imagine. Huge shout out to all of our current Music Mondays patrons that did submit tonight. Huge shout out to TDG, Laveries, and the homie Ghost, and everybody else that is subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon. You're fucking awesome. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit tonight when it comes down to our regular submissions. Huge shout out to Sam's Reps, Fleetwood DeVille, TDG, Laveries, Braden, the Single Digits, Offspring, Serious, Ghost, Dry My Eyes, Mosto, Kimon, and the homie Pez. Thank you guys for all of your submissions tonight. You're fucking wonderful. Per usual, submissions will be live for next week's episode 260 tomorrow on January 13th, 2026. So if you're watching this live, submissions will be live tomorrow. If you're watching this anywhere else, submissions are already open, so make sure you go drop your tracks and all that good jazz below. You can find this episode on the Music Mondays Patreon tonight in high quality. If you want to clip it, download it, or anything like that, go check out our Patreon. This will be available on all audio platforms this Thursday, anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. That's where you can stream all the Music Mondays podcast episodes. Over 250 episodes are over there on Spotify, so make sure you go show that some love. And then, of course, make sure you visit allmusicmondays.com. We have all of our latest articles, interviews, new blog stuff, roster, all that good jazz over there on the homepage. And then, of course, make sure you follow us on social media at allmusicmondays. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, fucking Tumblr, TikTok, wherever you're at on social media, we are available. So make sure you go follow us on your preferred social media. And of course, make sure you follow, subscribe below. Everything is linked below. Music Mondays social media, my social media. And then, of course, make sure you go vote on the current Music Mondays Awards for 2025. You still have 5 days to get your votes in. So make sure you go vote on who you want to win the 2025 Music Mondays Awards, man. You guys are fucking legends for that as well. But like I said, follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All my socials, all the Music Mondays socials are linked down below. I stream like 5-6 days a week. I'm always doing speedrunning stuff, watch party jazz, and then of course this is the home of the Music Mondays podcast. So I'll be live tomorrow for a regular stream, and then we'll be live next Monday for episode 260 of the Music Mondays podcast. And actually 260 will be the 2025 Music Mondays Awards. So no reactions next week, but we will open submissions tomorrow for the following week's episode. So tomorrow's submissions will be reacted to on the 26th. So keep that in mind. Then, of course, next Monday will be the 2025 Music Mondays Awards, man. The Music Mondays Awards. 4th annual. I'm fucking excited. I'm very, very excited. So, make sure you go vote on those polls and all that other good jazz. And like I said, huge shout out to you guys. You guys are fucking wonderful. Huge shout out to Dry My Eyes and Ghost. Anybody else at Lurk and Chilled, man. And Ghost coming through with the 13 bomb. You're a fucking goat. Thank you again. And then, of course, like I said, I'll be live tomorrow per usual, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow, subscribe below, everything linked below, all the socials, all the good jazz is linked down below. All of you all, take care, be safe, and we'll see you motherfucking tomorrow and next Monday for another episode of the Music Mondays Podcast. Peace.